Welcome everybody to the Latiners Network. My name is Jose and this is my review for Fast X. That's right, the 10th film in the seemingly endless franchise, which thankfully only has one more film left before they finally bring this whole thing to a close. And I say thankfully because I've kind of felt out of love with this franchise out of the last few films. For a while I was right there with you guys. I know this movie has a lot of fans and I get it. It was stupid, dumb fun, but it was very entertaining. And as outlandish as it was, some of the earlier entries, particularly five, which I think is the best one, still had a sense of plausibility. Like, okay, you kind of believe this could maybe occur somewhere. Physics was still being used in a realistic way at that time. And then little as it progressive, that whole physics book just went out the window. Now culminating in number nine, they're in space in a car with duct tape. I mean, stop it. It's ridiculous. I hated nine. Wasn't a huge big fan of eight. Seven was okay. It's kind of taking a a downhill turn ever since that fifth one, little by little. So I can't say I was excited to see this one, but I was hoping maybe they can turn the corner and kind of set up for a really, really good finale here. Now, of course, here we got Dom back with his quote unquote family. You know, you do a drinking game to Fast and Furious and all the sequels. Every time they say family, take a shot, you'll be drunk in the first 10 minutes. Nothing changes here. You hear the word family a thousand times over and over again. It is what it is. They make a joke about it in the film, which is kind of funny. But we got Dom here. He's back, and now the whole team is in danger. His family's in danger because you got one Jason Momoa, who is tied into the fifth film. He was the make him the son of, I forgot his name, but the bad guy's name in the fifth one. Momoa's character almost died, and now he survived. Now he was biding his time. Now he's taking the opportunity to seek revenge and make Dom and his whole family suffer because of his father's death. And that's basically the basic plot, right? Not to spoil too much, but it's Fast and Furious. There's not much to spoil to begin with. But that being said, I'll say this, because this movie is not good. It's I hated this movie. It's terrible. But I'm a positive guy. I try to be. I try to be. So I'm gonna start with a couple of the positives here. The first one is the end credit scene. I really like the end credit scene. It was really cool, and it kind of, I don't know how, but got me excited for the next installment, for the final installment. It's like, yes, I wanted to see that, and then glad they showed us that. I don't want to say too much to spoil anything. But if the best scene is the end credit scene, that's not a good thing. That doesn't say a lot about the film that you just watched. But that's a different story. And secondly, Jason Momoa. I love Jason Momoa in this film. I thought he was really, really good. He's fun. He's entertaining. He's just full of charisma. Momoa is. He generally always is, and he's almost bigger than the movie itself at times, and he kind of overdoes it, but that's okay. He's got this flamboyancy which really works in the film. He's a lot of fun, and at times it may feel he's in a different film, but it works here. It really does. As a villain, it really worked, and he was a good opposition, almost the opposite of what Dom is. And it's a smart guy. He's got this elaborate plan, and he seems to be 10, 20, 30 steps ahead of everyone else. And I like that. I like this plan. I like his idea. It was really, really cool. Other than that, listen, if you've been a fan of this franchise, if you like the ninth one, you'll probably like this one. And I get it. And I wish I could be there with you. I wish I could stand side by side, arm intertwined with you, walking down the tour de force that is this Furious franchise. But I'm not. I'm sorry. And maybe it's just me, but I know a lot of people hated this film. A lot of people were laughing at this movie, like I was doing the movie, and laughing for the wrong reasons. Because yeah, the ridiculousness continues. Although this one, the action is not as over the top as you saw in part nine, even part eight. They kind of tone it down a bit. It's still just filled with issues and physics issues and realistic issues. And from the very first scene, big action sequence with this big bomb. You see on the trailers, big bomb there in Rome, and this bomb just keeps rolling down Rome. Apparently, Rome is all in a slope, which is news to me. I've been there, and that's not true, but whatever. Fair enough. And it just nonstop rolling, and something happens, and Dom's car is destroyed, but he's okay, and the car gets still keep going. It's the same thing we've seen 1,000 times, and I'm just tired of it. And like I said, it could be just me. And this movie's gonna have its fans, and good for you guys. Good for you guys. I really hope you enjoy the film. I just didn't. Nothing worked here besides from Momoa for the most part. If this movie had the MCU or the Marvel logo at the beginning, I'd buy it, because that's the only way you believe what's happening. Even Dom's son is a scene where he does something. He might as well have a cape on. I swear to God, he might as well have a cape on. Dom is the strongest human in the world. There's a scene he literally flips a car over, which is not saying it's unbelievable, but he did it with one arm. Come on, one arm. Whatever. Some people might find something that entertaining. Great, but excuse me, the movie's just dumb. It's just dumb. It plods along. There's a big lull in that second act when nothing's really going on. We're just following some other characters who the team's been separated, so we keep following where each of them are at from one location to another exotic location, really going nowhere and not focusing on what was actually interesting about the film. That's Momoa's character and his plan and this kind of mouse game with of course with Vin Diesel's character, which I thought was the best part about the film. So they kind of kept moving away from that, giving us useless scenes after useless scenes with some really stupid decisions made by some people, particularly with John Cena's character, which I hated. And ultimately, this movie felt like half a film, the way it ends. And I hated the way it ended because, again, this is a part one of two. And, we've seen this before with the Hunger Games or even, I think Harry Potter. And it feel like half films. They're not complete. This one falls into that same trap, and I really hate that. It doesn't feel like I complete films. Like what I spent 2 hours and 20 minutes here, and we're nowhere. And I hate that. It just doesn't work for me at all. It may work for you guys, but not for me. Again, and then there's a decision to bring back certain characters, which like why are they here, and how in the hell are they there? It's just over and over again, just stuff that just doesn't make sense. No one dies. No one can die. They die and they come back 20,000 times. It's worse than the MCU. MCU, no one dies, but at least they try to make sense of it. Here, it's just whatever. We're just gonna toss them in there. Who cares? And particularly in the end, which was infuriating, this one particular scene. But listen, I don't want to spoil it. All that being said, my thoughts on this film are very clear. Did not enjoy it. Maybe a little bit better than 9 just because of Momoa's character. Other than that, this movie's terrible. It's just terrible. It is what it is. But I really hope you guys enjoy it. If you do see it, I'm sure you will. Comment below. Let me know what you guys thought. And of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed money to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.